All right, folks, you are tuned into Continental Drift on WNUR 89.3 and streaming live at WNUR.org. You just heard a track entitled Chicago Kalaja from Glawdys N'Dee, and I am, again, very pleased to have her in the studio. Glawdys, if you could please explain what Kalaja means to the audience, I'm very happy.
Sure, that would be a pleasure. The Kalaja rhythm in Guadeloupe is a rhythm that is counted among a musical style called woka music. And each rhythm expresses something in particular. The Kalaja rhythm expresses, in our culture, sometimes melancholy or sorrow. Mm-hmm. So this is what it means.
Mm-hmm. And I also noticed there's Chicago in the title. How did you actually come to Chicago? How long have you been here, and what brought you to this great city?
Well, it's been quite a few winters. I would say a few winters. What brought me here? It's music. Music has brought me anywhere I went until today. So it's a wonderful experience. Chicago is a city that is very rich in cultural diversity, and originally I love the blues. And I love jazz, which is and gospel, which is very important, and which is one of the reason why I came here. I wanted to kind of understand and feel the same pace of life that people feel here. Mm-hmm. You can understand music from abroad. You can capture some of the essence of it, but in order really to understand its fullness, you have to live things. Mm-hmm. And this is why I have really prioritized traveling and experiencing certain things.
Well, speaking of traveling, I'd like to talk a little ethnomusicology with you for a moment, if we may. And you could explain, because I incorporate a lot of that knowledge into my show whenever possible. And so if you could perhaps explain a little bit about the origins of Caribbean music and the various influences which sort of brought it all together. Wonderful.
Particularly in this album?
In this album and in Caribbean music in general as well.
Well, on this album, it is true that everything evolves around my culture, because you cannot separate from your roots. You can add some other elements, cultural elements or musical elements into what you do, but you cannot step away from who you are. So eventually you constantly evolve back to your origins. But what is interesting is that once you start discovering and once you start experiencing different things, some elements musically, when we talk about music, some elements of music, and what I've discovered personally is that music from the diaspora in general, I found that they have some common elements. And even if they were not specifically exact or similar, I would say, even if they were not specifically similar, they had some similarities and that were very, very close. So I took those elements on this particular album and I put them under one umbrella, which is the reason why I call this album L'Héritage. And as I said previously, it will not specifically be one style or one style of music that could be spoken of. But one thing is sure is that whatever people can identify with in this music, they will respond to it. Mm-hmm. And this is just human nature. If you like a particular cake or a particular flavor, wherever you find this flavor, you probably will like the cake. So,
agreed. I'm talking to a dessert fan, so I understand it completely. Once again, I'd like to announce that Glawdys is going to be performing again this Friday, August 27th. There's an 8 p.m. show at the Underground Wonder Bar that is at 10 East Walton. Do you have a website that people can visit so they can get updates on what you're doing and so forth?
Sure, they can go to www.glawdys.net. Glawdys is GLAWDYS.net.
Great. And you can also, of course, find her on MySpace.
Sure.
MySpace.com/Glawdys N'Dee. The last name is spelled N-D-E-E. I should remind our listeners. And I'm also told that your album, Leonage, is under Grammy consideration at the moment, so congratulations on that, and we wish you the best of luck with that process.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very pleased and proud to have, to be privileged to be under Grammy consideration.
It's quite an accomplishment for a first recording, so very well done. And I'm going to be giving away tickets to the Friday Underground Wonder Bar performance later, towards the top of the hour, so do stay tuned at 89.3 FM, and of course we are always streaming live 24/7 at WNUR.org. Glawdys, thank you so much for coming into the studio today and conversing with us and sharing your music with us. And if there's anything you'd like to say before going out, and then I'd love it if you would introduce one more song so that we could play another track off of Leonage.
Well, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me today. I would like to thank those that are listening abroad. Je vous remercie d'avoir écouté ce soir. Un grand bonjour à la famille en moins qui est en Guadeloupe qui a écouté. Et en cas des autres, moi, à d'autres soleil.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Again, you will translate that for me off the air. Thank you so much, and please tell us what track you'd like us to play.
The next track is entitled Listen to Your Heart.
All right, we should all do that as much as possible. So, again, Glawdys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a true pleasure talking with you. All right, here we go. Listen to your heart.